This video is about high-paying mystery shops. There are companies that will pay you to go out and evaluate services and products and will pay you $50 or more an hour to do so. Some of them you have to put money up front for a product and they will reimburse you. And some of them you're just going out and doing an evaluation. It is great money, but you don't want to start with high-paying mystery shops. You want to start with other things. I'm going to talk about all of the requirements, the types of shops, and I'll give you some companies you can go look at. If you like my content, please subscribe and follow along here on YouTube. I would appreciate it. I don't ask for money for any of this. I will share resources as I go along. I will also have this video bookmarked so you can jump to a section you like, and I will put all of my links and references in the description of the video. Please note, I'll never charge you for this information. You don't have to pay to learn to mystery shop. There's no requirements for you to get onboarded. This information I'm giving to you for free after 27 years of doing this part-time myself. I want to help others find flexible ways to make income, especially good for parents, for college kids, for people on disability who just want a part-time income or want to supplement their income. It's wonderful, flexible work from that. Some of it you can even do right from home. And if you are new to mystery shopping, please know you do not have to pay to learn how to mystery shop. I am providing this information for free, and you can get lots of tools for free. So don't pay anybody unless you really feel you need somebody to assist and hold your hand. Just stick around. We'll walk you through it. I have a video where I teach you how to get onboarded with mystery shopping, give you a few starter companies. This is a bookmarked video. You can skip to the section you need, and there are a bunch of topics here. I'm going to talk about training and prerequisites for these higher value shops. We'll talk about MSPA certifications. That's a Mystery Shopper Providers Association. I'm going to discuss the types of shops that pay the best and give you some specific examples of what those shops are like. And then I will introduce you to some companies that offer higher pay shops. In general, none of these shops have specific training or prerequisite requirements. There are some companies that want you to have the professional organization certification for certain things. It's generally not a requirement. It will give you higher priority in some jobs. I don't have a certification. I do have lots of years of experience, 27 to be exact, and I've been doing it part-time for all of those years. However, I'm going to caution you, don't jump into the high-end shops first, especially if they have a reimbursement. If you do not follow the rules exactly on every single shop you do, you will not get payment. So if it's a reimbursement shop, let's say it's a amusement park that gives you tickets and all of those reimbursement things that you're going to put money up front, if you don't hit every single thing properly, or at least you're not able to correct the things to hit them properly, you won't get paid for the job. My suggestion is if you haven't watched my first video, which is how to start secret shopping or mystery shopping, that you go back to that. You start with some of the earlier starter companies, get a feel for what things look like, and then move to the higher pay shops. You really need to have attention to detail. For some of these shops, you're going to need equipment like recording or camera equipment. They're going to ask you to verify that you have that equipment. And you don't want to get too far in if you don't like this at all. While the high pay shops are fantastic, they're not for everybody. Some of them require extensive pages of answers and pictures, and it can get a little tedious. If you're not a details person, you generally won't like these shops. Many of the higher pay shops, like say banking or financial investment, also require you to have specific things like a certain credit score. Some of them might require you to have an incorporated business or to be able to take a hit on your credit score by attempting to open a credit card. These are all defined in the jobs before you accept them, and they are very specific to the industry and the company you're working for. So make sure you pay attention to all those details, meet all of the requirements before you accept anything. Most mystery shopping companies are fairly good if you realize you want to back out. They would rather you do that than proceed forward with the shop in a fraudulent or falsifying way. If you aren't familiar with the professional organization, the Mystery Shopper Providers Association, I encourage you to become familiar. You can sign up on their website for free and access some information. They do have a $5 membership. It's monthly. It doesn't have to be recurring. So if you're interested in doing some of their training or certifications, you get free classes if you sign up for that $5 monthly, and then their certifications are less expensive if you are a member. I find it very helpful. You don't need to, again, be a member. You can access some job boards and information. The specific certifications they have like a luxury certification, then an automotive certification. Those are $15 each, or they have a gold level certification, which is $55. And that is much, much cheaper if you are a member. And like I said, it's not recurring. So you can just sign up for a month, do your certifications, and then stop for a bunch of months and sign back up later when you want to research or add a certification. At least that's what I've done in the past to try and make it more affordable. That information will be in the video details. Again, they're the MSPA America. There is an international version, but the US version, it has great resources. If you are interested in shopping, I highly recommend you start there. Familiarize that. They also do free seminars where they do like an intro to mystery shopping, and they provide you information on scams and fraudulent, especially with social media. There are some fraudulent creators out there that have been called out recently. They provide information about that. Really helps give you guidance on what is truthful information and what is not. It's highly recommended. Let's talk about the types of shops that you can potentially do that are going to pay you more than your average restaurant shop. So there are high-end restaurant shops. They don't pay a lot. As a flat rate, it might be $20, but they could pay you as much as $200 for a meal reimbursement. Again, you don't want to commit to that reimbursement. Eat the meal, submit the shop, and find out that you did something wrong that you can't correct. You want to be knowing what you're doing by the time you get to these. I mentioned banking, finance, credit cards, retirement, different types of investment funding. Those usually pay $40 or more a shop. I find on an average, they take me an hour to 2 hours. So if I can do one in an hour and I can make $40 or $50 an hour, that is fantastic money. There are amusement park shops that usually pay $40 or $50 plus some great reimbursements. They'll even reimburse for food and parking. Things like zoos, drive-in theaters. The drive-ins don't pay as much, but they're good once you get the reimbursement in there. There's some college shops you can go and shop for a college. They pay $125 a visit. Now, those you're looking at more of like a 3 or 4 hour commitment, but it's a great way if you have that kind of time and you fall into the category that applies to make that money. Hotel shops pay fairly well. Those are usually extensive. You're evaluating multiple things over multiple days, but it's very nice if you want to travel on that hotel shop stay. I don't do a lot of hotel shops because they are pretty intensive, but they do pay well for what they're doing. Some of the cleaning shops like carpet cleaning offer some really high value reimbursement. You can get your carpets cleaned. It might only pay you $40, but they're going to reimburse you $200 and some bucks for your carpets to be cleaned, which is fantastic in my opinion. Some of the oil change shops, again, might pay $30 or $40 and then $150 reimbursement for the oil change. Apartment shops pay really well. A lot of times you have to record to those, but it's like $50. It might take you 30 minutes at the apartment shop to go look at the apartment and set up the appointment, and then another hour. It comes out to be more than $20 an hour in general. Valet shops pay pretty well, plus reimbursement. Things like firearms, fire ranges, or gun stores. Airport shops sometimes pay really good bonuses because they're difficult to get into. If you work at an airport in another capacity and you're able to get access to the gate area, these are fantastic for you. You can do them like on your break, get a meal and get reimbursed. And sometimes the bonuses are super high on the airport shops. I've seen a lot of salon shops lately that are like lash extension. The shop itself pays maybe $40 or $30, but the lash value is $150. That's really another great thing. Utility shops, if you are shopping, like they have those people that stand outside maybe Walmart and try and get you to sign up for utilities. You can go evaluate them. Those are about $40 or $50 each, and they are about an hour, maybe a 20-minute conversation and a 30 to 40-minute evaluation. That's really high paying. And some doggy daycares. So you can see there's a really wide variety. Again, that MSPA organization has specifics on all of these different types of shops, but these are the ones, if you see them, you don't have to put much up front for a lot of these amusement parks, oil changes, things like that. You have to pay ahead of time and they reimburse you. But the apartment shops, college shops, you pay nothing. You're just going out there and doing the evaluation and getting straight pay for it. And I do see that you could potentially make $40 to $50 an hour. Now, some of these, you're not going to be able to do them every month. You can only do them maybe once a year or twice a year. But if you couple these together with a bunch of different companies, it will give you a greater return on what you're doing. Let me give you a little more specific example of one of these shops that requires no money from you. I've seen some open a new savings account or checking account. There's a ton of them. The pay starts at $40 for them, and it looks like they're about an hour or two at max. Now, you do have to meet certain requirements. The company will vet you first, and you have to open a checking. For me, I want to open a business checking soon. I'm probably going to couple it to a shop so I can get paid for it. I'm going to do it anyway. These, you're going to go and you're going to make an appointment. So the appointment is going to be part of the evaluation. Sometimes they have you evaluate the usability of the website, or if you're calling the person that you're talking to, you're going to evaluate the actual bank when you go and sit down, and you're going to do things in a specific way. So they're going to ask you, for example, not to sign electronically and to sign on paper, or vice versa. And you have to make sure you adhere to whatever those requirements are. Like I said, if you're already opening up a bank account, or you already have an investment service that you want to look into, these can be some really great money for what you're doing. You're not going to be doing this all of the time. Some of the credit card shops, again, you're not going to be doing that all the time, but if you're going to open, say, a Target credit card, and you've wanted to do that anyway, it's $100 and some for some of these credit card jobs. You just go and open the card. You, again, evaluate however you're opening it. And that money is sometimes way higher than $50 an hour. My advice on all of these shops is to pay attention to details. They will give you the information up front. Bring a way that you can record it. Sometimes you can be recording it in your phone on the actual survey as you're going through. Some of them, like the bank shops where you're speaking to somebody, you don't want to be doing the survey while you're sitting there, bringing notes, or recording in a way that's compliant with your state is advisable. Not all states allow you to record somebody without telling them, and you can't tell them that you're doing the shop. So you want to make sure you adhere to all of those things. Let me give you the names of some companies that do these types of shops. Really, many companies do a variety of shops. They don't just specialize in one thing. They tend to do more than one. And this is not an exhaustive list. I am developing more and more videos and materials on these types of shops. I'm going to do videos specific to each type. A banking shop, I'll do a video on that. Amusement park shops, I'll do a video on that. This is the general high-end video. If you like this content, please subscribe and follow along. And as I put out more and more content, you will be notified. I will have the links to these companies. The first one I want to mention is APC, and I mention them because they do finance, banking, and credit card, and they start with those jobs at $40 to $123 an hour. I haven't seen anything below that. And if you are an experienced shopper, you can do some of those in 1 to 2 hours. That is a really great hourly rate. Now, you can't repeat these every month or every week unless you're opening a lot of checking accounts, but you can do them often enough, especially some of them where you don't have to open an account, to make a pretty good rate at this. Bear International is another company that does these high-paying shops. They do college shops that start at $125. They also do luxury retail. Well, they aren't going to pay for you to go get a luxury item purchased. They will pay you at least $50 to walk in the store and evaluate that. Now, luxury retail is its own beast. There is an MSPA certification on luxury, and they are very picky about what they do. I would not jump to luxury as a newbie. I would get your feet wet on retail and really get a feel for what you're doing before you go to luxury. Otherwise, if you go and you aren't able to complete the shop in a way that they approve, the company approves, you won't get paid for it. And that can be extremely frustrating. Definitely learn your way first before jumping to going into the fancy watch or jewelry store. Compliance Solutions has also some high-end shops. Specifically, I've seen some of the cleaning. I think they do the oil change shops and that sort of thing. Now, as I'm mentioning all of these companies, they're very specific to your region. So if you don't see that shop for that company, just try another one. And lastly, another company I really like is IntelliShop. They do so much. They have a lot of things. They're one I recommend getting involved with, doing the lower end, like fast food or smaller retail shops, and then moving up. They do salon shops. I don't know what specifically salon things they do, but in the past, I've seen companies do massage. I've mentioned lash services, different spa treatments, that sort of thing. It's fantastic. You're getting paid to go get a massage. Nobody's gonna dislike that. IntelliShop also does utility, those ones where they're standing outside the store trying to get you to sign up for a utility, and you're going to go evaluate those individuals. They do some oil change shops, which are high value. They might not pay a ton. They might only pay you like $20, but the value you're getting is like $150 for that oil change. And those are typically at automotive dealerships that they're paying that much. And they do some doggy daycare evaluations where you're going to go and visit the daycare and vet it as if you were bringing your dog there. And they pay $40 or more. All of these are great companies to look at, get a feel for. I'll put the links. You can sign up with these companies individually, and most of them will give you an option to get email. And then when there's something in your area, they'll notify you. Don't be disappointed if there's nothing in your area. That company just might not do your area. Just sort of set them aside and move on to the next company. Do keep in mind, as you sign up for them, these are 1099 work jobs. So you will have to give them your information, your social security number, and your date of birth. The links I'm giving you are legit links. These are not scams. I have been paid from these companies. They do pay PayPal, Zelle, direct to bank type of payments. I've never had a single one of them do me wrong. They're also members of that MSPA, Mystery Shopper Providers Association. So they're vetted by that organization. If you find my content valuable or useful, please share it, like it, save it, and best of all, subscribe. I am trying to build my subscription. I will never charge you for this content. It will always be free. I'm building up more and more materials for everyone. And if you're a subscriber, you'll be the first to see those materials. You'll be notified. And if you have questions or comments, please put them in the comments and I will address them accordingly. You have ideas or things you want answered in a video, I will also do those. I'm also on TikTok. If you've seen me there, I appreciate you coming over here and getting involved in the longer YouTube videos.